Podtacular episode 311, the Halo Council interview for September 14th, 2012.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Podtacular, the unofficial Halo Universe podcast. I am your host, Duststorm, and this week we have three people from the Halo Council, kind of here to talk about the history behind Halo Council and what exactly they do in the Halo Universe. And starting off, we have CyRen.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
Good, you?
Doing okay, recovering from my sickness, but other than that, I am doing well.
That PAX flu.
Actually, I don't know if this is related because I got sick a week and a half afterwards, so I don't know if it's directly related, or I think the main reason was just a lack of sleep, because ever since PAX started I haven't gotten my necessary sleep at night, so probably a combination of both. But moving on, next we have Euphorix.
What's up, guys? What's going on?
Not much. It's a good day for Halo.
Yes, every day is a good day for
every
Halo.
Every day is a good day for Halo. Especially Halo 4 when it comes out.
Oh, can't wait.
I know, right? And we have,
days.
And lastly, we have LastMan.
Oh guys, how's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Yeah, LastMan, what's up?
Yeah.
So these fine gentlemen all represent the Halo Council, which you guys started up last year, right? I want to say it was last
Ray
year.
would know the most. Yeah, it was around then. I think it was right around. Sort of everyone started their community movements. I think it was around that MLG Columbus event, but Ray was on before I was on, so maybe he wants to touch on the origins a little more since he might be more well versed in it.
Yeah, so give us a little history of the Halo Council.
Yeah, around what was the Thanksgiving event? Was that Providence, Frank?
Yeah, Providence was the national championship.
Yeah, around that, everyone in the competitive community from like MLG was kind of down. It just the game wasn't working out like we hope it would. So some guys got together, Gandhi, DMAC, Nexi, Best Man, and Bravo was featured in there for a couple episodes too. They started their own live show, and that went on for a bit, but Nexi wanted to start a website for all Halo content and all that, and that started up around February. So that's a bit of the early history of the Halo Council.
Yeah. And just to touch on some of the intention or behind it, primarily the Major League Gaming forums had always been sort of the central hub for everything sort of multiplayer Halo focused or competitively focused, however you want to word it. And once sort of the competitive scene in MLG started to dwindle, we saw the same sort of response in the community. So this was sort of a call to arms or action just to make sure that competitive spirit of Halo had a place to go, and that a place they could feel like was their home, because MLG's front page obviously features sort of their flagship games, which are now StarCraft and League of Legends and PC focused. So the Halo crowd needed a place where they could basically feel like they belonged again, and that's sort of the void that HaloCouncil.com filled for that.
Right, and for a while you stuck to doing video casts. You guys did it pretty much once a week, between Gandhi, Nick, Best Man, and those guys. And then I want to say sometime in either December or January, you guys finally pulled together a website. Does that sound about right?
The website started late January. It's just Nexi's so busy sometimes that he couldn't really get it concentrated. So we brought on people like Hammer Time and Animal. Then eventually I was brought on the end of March, I believe, or early April. That's when the content started coming out per se. Mm-hmm. That's when we really hit it big. Then we had a really, really good E3, and that's what kind of got us out in the community or known per se.
That was a big step for sure.
I mean, that was a big deal for a lot of people. I mean, when you can see a positive reaction in the publishers forum, then you know they're doing something right.
Yeah, I know it's we got into featured articles in that, but I think the coolest thing about our history, at least for us behind the scenes, was when we heard 343 themselves was talking about Euphoric's reaction video at E3 that was going around their whole office. So that was that was one of my favorite moments.
I found out I was in a chain email at 343, and that's like kind of those moments that sort of blow your mind, and it's something I would never expect to happen. But when I heard that and got tweets from some of the staff and people who work at 343, they're like, "Hey, we saw your video. It's in a chain email in the office." I was like, "Whoa." It's pretty much a shocking moment, but awesome nonetheless.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those wake-up moments. It's like, wow, this is really, really important to a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was. It was a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
So they really put, 343 took a big risk, I think, in doing some of the stuff they did, but they played their cards really well.
Right.
Yeah,
I think E3 was huge for them, and they even mentioned how like nervous they were going into that show because of like that was sort of the first time anyone saw a big part of Halo 4, especially both like campaign focused and people were able to get their hands on the multiplayer. So it was big for almost like the entire Halo community. It was sort of like we finally had something to grab onto and grab a hold of and be proud of that after Reach and what many people might consider sort of not necessarily a lackluster experience, but a game that sort of seemed to die down more quickly than the other Halo titles. We finally had something to look forward to again and really get excited about.
Yeah, so they're definitely going in the right direction with Halo 4. And I think
definitely
the amount of community support that they have and just the feedback that we're getting from them and them showing how much they really care about our opinions, I think is really putting a lot of people's fears at ease and really going to make Halo 4 probably one of the best Halo games.
Definitely.
Yeah, we have to really, I really like 343 because I didn't really have a close connection with anybody at Bungie, just kind of maybe through the forums, one of their guys responded once in a while, but like 343 is just insane. Like BS Angel responds, Alice, Frankie, all those guys, they're very active at keeping the community close and talkative and all that. They're really great.
Yeah, I'd agree. And like I know I've had my gripes. Like I'm sort of like a multiplayer focused guy. That's always what I get the most enjoyment out of. So I overly critique what like sort of the news we get multiplayer just because I don't know, that's sort of the type of player I am. That's what I enjoy the most out of the series. But you know, to 343's credit, they've done an amazing job with every single part of the community. There's been like fans of Halo have longed for a Halo movie for so long now. And 343 is like, you know what? Screw it. Like, we're going to make our own movie. It's not going to be like a blockbuster title. Let's just do it ourselves. So people who wanted a movie are getting a movie. There's new books coming out for the people who have the books. People who collect, action figures. There's new ones of that coming out that look amazing. So literally they've done like
just about everything.
In retrospect, like a perfect job of giving someone or everyone something to look forward to. So, I mean, that's so huge to bring back Halo, put it back in the spotlight.
Yeah, I can say personally that towards the end of Reach's lifespan, like I had lost most of my excitement Halo-wise, but the past few months with everything that 343 has done, I haven't been this excited since Halo 2. And back then, I was huge in the campaign. I loved the books. And I was just starting to get into MLG as well. So I had that to keep me occupied too. And with the way things are going now, it looks like all of that is coming back again. So for someone like me, it's really, really exciting stuff.
Yeah. Now, I know you guys are mostly multiplayer and competitive oriented, but coming from your standpoint would be kind of a unique viewpoint to see what are your guys' opinions on 343 really incorporating more of the external fiction to it? So like some of the books and some of the other stuff into the game and really incorporating that. How do you guys feel about them taking that approach to Halo 4?
I think it's good. I think it's good for the fans. Like whenever you have just a universe that has that kind of continuity, I think it generally benefits your fan base, especially because games like Halo tend to have people that are really invested in the story. So, I think it's definitely a good thing.
I'm looking forward to it because I hope them sort of tying it all in will get more people interested in the multiplayer. Maybe if someone, only enjoyed or particularly enjoyed more than others the campaign, sort of tying it all in, will say, hey, maybe I'm going to check out multiplayer now. Or if they enjoyed Firefight, like the Spartan Ops will fill that. But then they'll want to go in and play multiplayer and vice versa. People who maybe only enjoyed multiplayer are now going to really enjoy Spartan Ops or the campaign. So I think them tying it in sort of does a favor to everyone, and it sort of brings everyone or gives everyone the opportunity to enjoy all these various parts of the Halo universe.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of worried about how Spartan Ops is gonna work out, because I believe they said you should play Spartan Ops before the actual Halo 4 campaign, but
No, after.
Is it after?
Yeah, they said to play, because there's certain parts of Spartan Ops that if you haven't played through the whole campaign can spoil some of it. So Frankie came out and said you want to play the full campaign and then you want to start your Spartan Ops experience.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so that should be good for all fronts. I'm actually a big campaign guy. That's how I started in Halo. I'm sure a lot of people did too. And this is the most excited I've been for a campaign probably since Halo 2. I want to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the odd man out then. Like I like the campaign, but this one I don't think I'm as excited.
Dude, it looks badass. That new trailer. Think? Yeah, you know that one. I don't know. I'm a movie buff too, but that one scene where he's walking out in that like cornfield kind of thing, it reminded me of Gladiator kind of.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? He just looks bad.
My name is Maximus Decimus Aurelius.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be sick. All right, yeah. Maybe I just haven't like pulled together the whole campaign fiction yet, you know? Maybe I'm still thinking about how the Forerunner and Prometheans will tie in, so maybe that's why I'm not as excited. But I'm definitely can't wait to play it. But I think I was more excited for maybe 3, I'd have to say.
All right. I just thought for 3 it seemed a little fast-paced because they were basically trying to wrap up that trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And with how much they had to cut from Halo 2, it just seems like Bungie was, because it was basically their last game with Chief, so they had to pretty much finish up that story as quick as possible, and it just seemed a little rushed.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we got a lot of information and lore behind it. We got the terminals, which was an interesting viewpoint into kind of how the Forerunners fought off the Flood for their first encounter. But other than that, if you're actually looking at the gameplay of the campaign, it just seemed a little too quick.
That Cortana level, if I never have to play that again.
Oh my God. For me, even on Legendary, that's not that hard of a level.
Oh, it's not that. It's just
annoying.
It reminded me of the library from Halo. You know, like it just continues and continues, and you're like, why is this happening? Yeah. Why am I in a butthole?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the campaign though. The thing I really liked was it 2 or 3 scarabs he had to fight in one of the levels. He had to take them all down. Oh my God, that was like my first real 360 game. Yeah.
The Storm.
And you're going around, you're flying, and you're like, this is just so bad. It felt like a real battle. That's the thing that I always remembered from Halo 3.
All right, you guys win. I'm excited for Halo 4's campaign now. I was like reliving all those moments in my head, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty bad. This is going to be sick.
Yeah.
Because I think this, like Halo 4, they kind of have this great like launching pad. The previous trilogy where they can see like what worked and what didn't and what they want to do. And they have like a fresh start. So it's not like you brought up some good points, Dustin, about how like Halo 2, they had to cut a bunch of stuff. Then 3, they were sort of rushed. Whereas 343 with this campaign, they're going to be able just to, you know, do it all basically. Their vision, hopefully they'll be able to flesh it all out in this game and then build on it in the next game. Right. So that should serve the campaign very well.
I mean, they're basically writing the foundation for their sandbox that they're going to have throughout this trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there is kind of the limitations on the history of Halo, but other than that, the possibilities are endless. And to see some of the stuff that they've already done with the Forerunners and the Prometheans.
Yeah.
And then we have the Rogue Covenant. And then from some of the other stuff, we have the Covenant that have allied with us. So it's going to be interesting to see, okay, is there some kind of Covenant civil war going on in here?
Oh, did they say that they're Covenant allied with humans now?
Well, they didn't say that, but looking at some of the videos, I think this, like one of the last 2 that came out, you can see that there are the remember in Halo 3 when you had the green dropships
Yeah.
that signified allies? Well, they had ones in the video where the lights were green, so some people were
Okay, I gotcha.
Keen
Nice catch
eye.
on that.
we're guessing that there are some Covenant that are allied with us.
Sick.
Could be good.
So there's a lot of interesting little dynamics in Halo 4 which we've yet to see, but I'm really excited to see what 343 does with them.
For sure.
I'm just excited the Flood are gone. I got kind of tired
I was
of those
getting
guys.
sick of them. Yeah.
It seemed like always in the third act they just randomly popped out in the story, like, oh, the Flood,
It's the Flood again.
Again.
First time I played Halo 1, that one that Master Chief puts in the little camera thing or whatever in his head, and they have that whole...
Oh, yeah.
It's Jenkins cam? Yeah.
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 Which is funny
That's like a
because
scene out of a horror movie.
because I'm reading Contact Harvest right now, and part of the book is kind of how Jenkins and Johnson meet up. So it's like, I'm reading about this character, and it's like, oh great, I know how he dies.
Yeah.
I know how this ends.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Reach all over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, Halo 4 campaign's gonna be awesome. Oh, do you have something to say? Sorry.
Well, someone mentioned Reach. I was going to say one thing that kind of disappointed me about Reach's campaign is that it didn't follow the story of the books. I know when it first came out, that's what I was expecting, but that wasn't really the case at all.
Yeah.
I was hoping to play through that a bit.
Yeah, they really kind of screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, because I'm a little torn on that because I read the books first before Reach came out, so I'm like, to me the books are more canon than the game.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
And I mean, I'm not exactly sure what 343 stance on it. I think they've come out and said that since the game is there, the game is more official than the books because they've actually gone back and they've added some stuff to the books. So if you buy Fall of Reach now, there's I think like an extra chapter in there that kind of helps fill some of the holes that Reach made.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember when 343 first came about, they had an interview with Frankie, and the thing they wanted to do was make sure that the whole Halo story stayed under 343 at least, so it wouldn't have anything weird like that, the story not following suit. So, I mean, with the new trilogy and the new books, I think they're really going to be a lot closer than before, than Bungie and the other publishers of the books. So,
yeah,
that's good at least.
That's good.
So yeah, so on the covers of the new books, it's the definitive edition. So if you see that means you have a book that was rewritten after Reach came out.
Okay.
I might have to go get another one then.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
And yeah,
pretty cool,
so there's a section in the back it's adjunct. So there's about 20-30 pages of adjunct in each one of the books.
Yeah.
In that trilogy. Or at least the Fall of Reach one.
Oh, I just realized Glasslands comes out in a couple of weeks now.
Does it really?
Close to the 25th. Then we got the Thursday War on October 2nd. Oh.
I'm finishing Contact Harvest this weekend, and then I'm on to Cold Protocol. So
it's kind of cool. You got these books, and you got Forward Onto Dawn starting up.
Yeah, I know.
Then wow, it's just gonna be You're just gonna be beating us over the head with Halo.
And then the
it's
day
like fiction.
Yeah, then the day was it the last day of Forward Unto Dawn is also the first day of the MLG tournament for Halo 4 multiplayer before the game even comes out.
Yeah.
So on the second,
yeah. So from like now until then, there's like something to look forward to every week.
Man,
it's gonna be crazy.
You can't drop Halo like the flag. It's just gonna be stuck on you.
Yeah, what do you guys think about?
There's going to be so much content.
Yeah, like for sure. And I know like us on HaloCouncil.com, currently right now we're working on like version 2.0 of our site. So I'm going to be straight up. The site right now to me looks ugly. We have like 8 colors going on. Like there's like a gray background and like
it's
orange forums and
works.
red. Yeah, it works, but we're going to make it like we want to make this bad because we can see the potential in it. So we're really working on like an overhaul. We have some of the most talented graphic artists I've like ever seen working on it. Some of our stuff. And then we've got Louis, who's helping us. I don't know if you're familiar. We were getting like DDoS attacked heavily. And this guy was like our Superman, came in, stepped up and saved the day. So we're so freaking excited that we have this like working site. So we're going to be making like everyone in our like Skype chat where we sort of collaborate together. We all have stuff to like, we're all like planning on these like awesome releases for our new website. We're going to come out. I know, like Nexi and I were planning on doing like video guides on like the maps and weapons and spawns. So like if you're like intimidated by like the MLG or competitive scene or even just multiplayer in general, like say you're someone who's like interested from like campaign or Spartan ops because 343 is tying everything in together, we want to have like guides on each map. So you can, instead of like running around the map, like say 4 times before you know where all the weapons spawn, you can just watch this like 3-minute video and know everything about the map before, you know, hopping into matchmaking. And then we're going to do like the same with like weapon guides, like how to use like differences between the light rifle. Since there's all these different classes now and that you can pick your starting weapon, we want to make sure everyone's familiar with like the BR, the DMR, carbine, like what are the differences? How should I be using this weapon, that weapon? And then, like we have, who works on our top 5, Jazzy. He's like a huge fan of Spartan Ops. So we want to do like, and this excites me too. Like, even though I've been most excited mostly about multiplayer stuff, this sounds sick. We want to do like competitive, like Spartan Ops speed runs. So like who can complete the mission the fastest using like all hard light shield or something along like to that effect. And our new website's like going to facilitate that. So we'll have like a guide that comes down, and like you'll pick like what kind of guide do you want? Are you looking for a map guide, a weapon guide? And then it'll lead you in there. And then this is like the sickest part. Like we're dreaming so big right now, but it's all right. It's going to be cool. I'm like, our team is sick. Like we're not going to have any problem getting this done. And like, we want to have user submitted stuff so that if you have like a really good tip on how to use the DMR, you can submit the video. And then we're going to have like a voting system similar to Reddit's where you can like upvote a video or downvote it. So we're going to have like a user submitted like media section to where like users can submit their own stuff and where you can go to our site to find these guides and that sort of thing. So like everything leading up to like the launch of Halo 4 has me excited. Like there's literally nothing I'm not looking forward to.
Right.
So we're pretty pumped.
Well, I mean, you guys have definitely posted yourselves in pretty much the source for competitive Halo. So I think having that kind of resource is going to be really valuable to the greater Halo community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's something we wanted to do too. Just because like with MLG, there's definitely a negative connotation. Like no one's going to deny that. If you run into like an MLG player, in matchmaking, you're expected to get like yelled at and looked down upon. And we're trying to like shake that notion and say, no, like we enjoy this way of playing like competitively if you're an MLG player, but we're much more open-minded. Like if you actually meet the good section or however you want to phrase it. So we want it to be like we're not like an MLG site. We're not MLG settings, right? We like the multiplayer, but we like the other stuff too, and we're trying to be friendly about the multiplayer towards others because it's tough. Like when you first go into matchmaking and you're a new player, you're not gonna do that great. That's just how anything is. Like any sport. So we want to make it almost like I don't know, like sort of like coaching or however you want to look at it to help newer players where they can feel like welcome in that competitive environment, and we can sort of just bring that multiplayer experience up and have everyone enjoy themselves. So it's something I'm looking forward to, and I think we have like our forums are just like a great group of people in general. Just towards they're not the people you run into in matchmaking is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So and we've seen that kind of connotation happen on Twitter and in other places as well. But I think you guys have really done a good job on refocusing on what it means to be a competitive Halo player and not an MLG Halo player.
Right. Mm-hmm. We want to sort of make that distinction, and we're a site that loves Halo, and we tend to focus on multiplayer, and we can be competitive, but we're not going to be, dicks about it.
Right. At the end of the day, the community is what's most important for us.
Exactly. Community focus for sure.
And you guys have definitely gotten support. I mean, we've supported you guys. HBO supported you. Waypoint has supported you. You guys have got a really solid following on Reddit. So, and the majority of the Halo community, you guys have come up and you're relatively new, and the fact that you're doing as well as you're doing really says a lot about the dedication that you guys have to bringing good Halo content. And I think that when Halo 4 comes out, you're going to be one of the prime hotspots for kind of that fast information turnaround.
Thank you, man. Like, we really appreciate it. It feels good to hear. And we're definitely going to try to take this and sort of utilize it, not squander the opportunity, for sure.
Yeah, so it's definitely nice seeing some of the stuff that you guys did out, and the analysis videos that you guys put out. They're some of the top quality ones out there. So
thanks.
Thank you.
So we can't wait to get our hands on the final game. Like, I'm sitting here like in my room at nights, like thinking about how I'm going to use the hard light shield and how I can tell people about it and stuff like that. That's another thing that's I'm looking forward to with what 343's done, and people can say, you're copying Call of Duty, out the wazoo, but it's been done before Call of Duty. It'll be done after Call of Duty. The classes are going to be awesome.
You know what?
Go ahead, Ray.
Oh, no. I was going to say The Simpsons did it. I'm sorry.
Simpsons did it. Yeah, but like with the classes, it's going to be awesome. And everyone's going to get a chance to learn from each other, because there's going to be sort of the strong sort of mods and armor abilities, but there's going to be people who can figure out a way to use them in a different and stronger way. And that's going to bring a whole new audience in, people that like, the classes and things like that. So yeah, bottom line, basically something we've all been saying, we're excited for Halo 4. Can't freaking wait till it comes out.
And with that too, we're still debating it, but we think we'll come out with our own kind of competitive game types. But the thing we really want to focus on is not taking away from the core game. Like, in past Halo iterations, it always just seemed like, let's start out with BR, DMR on a strip map, and that just doesn't work out for some people or someone new to Halo. We want to keep it a lot closer to vanilla.
We want anyone to be able to jump into our competitive game types, basically, and not feel like it's a completely new game.
Right. So and that kind of brings up a couple questions I'll get into a little bit later. But I think the fact that you guys have kind of shown yourselves open to a lot more people has really kind of turned the community's eyes around on what competitive Halo actually is. So at least from our standpoint, we commend you for
I think people are slowly starting to see that, like, everyone thinks of a competitive gamer on how they're going to insult their mother instead of like how the game types are. It's not really like that. I've been to probably over 30, 40 competitive LANs, and it's always a blast. People are having fun, and it just isn't it's just like a 2005, 2006 kind of mentality, right when like Halo 2 and Xbox Live exploded per se. And we're hoping to finally kick that going into Halo 4.
Yeah.
All right. So, getting on to some multiplayer stuff, since this is what you guys really, really enjoy.
Our bread and butter.
Yeah. None of you guys got to go to PAX, right?
No.
Unfortunately not.
No.
That's too bad.
But we watched all the videos for sure.
Yeah. Like the numerous videos that were coming out, probably like from 1 to 7 in the morning, and there were like 20 hours of content every hour or something like that.
If I never have to see another Exile shaky cam again, I'll be so happy. Like, because I actually watch all these guys, I want to make sure they're new, and I'm like, is this good? It's just,
Yeah. We have a couple more we're putting out, but I mean,
I like your videos are good. I like yours. There are quite a few out there that are shot similar to the Blair Witch Project. What happened?
Well, the funny thing is, I actually have a little point and shoot camera that I normally have, but I couldn't find it. So literally the day before I left for PAX, I went to Best Buy and bought myself a little camcorder for like $600, and it actually worked really well for the weekend.
Yeah, because I was watching you upload like 2 or 3 gameplays yesterday. I finally get to see more action to Nerf down Carbine, unfortunately. Which, I know, I'm like, my Halo 3 beta one will never return.
Yeah, that thing was so great.
I never got to play the Halo 3 beta.
Oh man, that was
Carbine. Basically, if I could sum it up, Carbine wins.
Yeah,
that's how it was.
Yeah,
It was fun.
It was fun.
Awesome. So, okay, so did any of you guys go to E3?
None of us have played the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So you haven't even, wow, okay.
LastMan played it.
Fresh meat.
LastMan, Nexi, and Gandhi all played it.
All right.
they're all at work.
So my questions might have a little lackluster value, but nonetheless, I'm going to ask them anyways and see what you guys think.
Okay.
Based on what you saw and what you've heard.
Okay.
So from the transition from the E3 build to the PAX build that we saw a lot of little tweaks to things. Mostly the BR, the DMR were unchanged. We saw some new weapons come out, especially some new Promethean ones, like the bolt shot and the what's the pistol one called?
The bolt shot, no?
Yeah,
the
well,
bolt shot's a pistol. We saw some
what's
light
the sniper
rifle.
one?
Then we saw
There's the
binary
sniper one.
rifle. which
Binary
was a
rifle,
new-
that's it.
That looks crazy scary.
That's sick, yeah. That one is sick.
Mhm.
So, out of all the weapons that you guys have seen so far, the starting one, so we have the Covenant Carbine, the Battle Rifle, the DMR, the Assault Rifle, and the Light Rifle. So out of those 5, they're probably going to be heavily used in competitive gaming. What do you think is kind of your go-to weapon for
Light
your
rifle.
initial loadout?
Light rifle, definitely.
Yeah,
light rifle.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
said the light rifle, as long as they don't nerf it. I've
Right.
heard nothing but good things. Like Nexi, I've never seen Nexi was like a kid in a candy store talking about this thing.
Mhm.
It was, and the gameplay looks fun too, because the thing that always threw me about the carbine was kind of that annoying noise. But
sound.
like, yeah, like it always made it obnoxious to me. But this weapon just seems to be badass from all directions, and it shoots well. And is it 5 shots or 4 or 5 did it have?
So it's... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah, I was going to say it's rumored to be a 5-shot kill from the hip, which is a burst fire mode. So if anyone's unfamiliar listening to it, the light rifle is the Promethean rifle starting weapon, and unzoomed, it shoots in burst fire, similar to the battle rifle. And then when you scope in, it's a single shot like a DMR, and it's supposed to be a 5-shot kill unzoomed and a 4-shot kill zoomed in. The lore being that when you focus and it's a single shot, it's more powerful since the energy sort of focused in. So I think that's what everyone is going to... I think everyone from the competitive community is sort of going to want to try the battle rifle first, because that's what they're looking forward to it returning in that. But I think
The
when
return
the dust
of the
settles,
Battle Rifle.
Yeah.
once that dust settles, though, I really think as long as there's no changes in the final build, which could also happen, the light rifle is going to be what everyone's flocking towards.
So I don't want to get anyone's hopes like up too much, but BS Angel basically said that what we saw at PAX was pretty close to the final build.
Cool.
I'm happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
there's still kind of lines up for little tweaks to it, but assuming that they're content with all the gameplay that they saw, and they're probably analyzing it 24/7 right now. But if they are satisfied with everything, then we're probably not going to see many changes to any of the weapons.
I could live with that.
Maybe maybe the new ones, like the couple of new Covenant weapons and the Promethean weapons that we saw, they may tweak a little bit, since this is the first time we've actually gotten our hands on it from a public perspective. But I think everything else is pretty much ironed out.
Yeah.
as long as... Oh, sorry, Frank.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'd like to see the assault rifles buffed up a little bit, to be honest. That's something we've never really seen, at least in, competitive. Like, I love using the AR. It's a fun weapon to use, but if I'm trying to win, I'm going to flock towards, say, in Halo Reach, like a DMR, because it's better. So I'm hoping if anything, they buff up a couple of the things, just to make everyone happy and all the weapons usable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the assault looks pretty good. Like as far as like assault rifle type guns go, I think that looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like a good alternative to it.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be interesting, because we've never had that type of weapon in Halo before. So it's going to be an interesting new twist to the game, and seeing how multiplayer kind of flows with that weapon. I don't think it's going to change that much, but it's definitely going to introduce a couple of new things into the multiplayer aspect of Halo.
Definitely. Yeah. And I think it's going to keep people playing longer with like the new loadout system, because people quit out a game, say, because they wanted to play team BRs or team DMRs, and they don't get that game type. So then they just quit out and try to get it again because they got assault rifle. Well, now it doesn't matter. Now you can play with whatever gun you want. So I think it's going to be a more enjoyable multiplayer experience for everyone. So it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Halo has, at least in my opinion, you guys may feel this way too, and you can voice whether or not you do, but from Halo's perspective, you're all in the level playing field. So whenever you first load up for Halo 3, for example, you start out with all the same weapons. Everyone's on the even playing field, can get to weapons easily. So it's a very balanced game. Halo Reach is a little different, but in essence it's the same because you all have the same options to start out, and you pick a loadout that's tailored to your experience, but doesn't necessarily make you over skilled or have more firepower over someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Halo 4 is looking to be an extension of that, to where you can choose what your starting weapons are, but the other weapons are tailored to if they can outshoot you, and depending on the situation, they might be able to outplay you for that situation, but as a game, in the entire gameplay perspective, everyone is still evenly balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Which is one of the reasons why I think we like Halo a lot more than Call of Duty, because Call of Duty is so unbalanced. And, I mean, you could be shooting at someone for a few seconds and someone can turn around, whip around and shoot you in the head and you're dead. So I think that's one of the aspects of Halo that's really important to competitive players and casual players, is being able to have that level playing field, but being able to customize your experience to tailor to your playing style, I think is a really key element that 343 has done a really good job in implementing these loadouts.
Right. That's sort of a complaint we heard once this sort of loadout system was announced, that, part of the allure for me for Halo or something like that, I liked how everyone started with a BR, or how everyone started with an AR, in that regard. Well, it doesn't really change it. It changes how it's done, but everyone still has the same options. So in a sense, you're still on that balanced playing field, but you just have the option to tailor that playing field to your play style. So
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's
Right.
definitely, it's something that people always tend to sort of resist the initial changes, but once everyone gets their hands on it, I have a feeling everyone's going to have a good time. And because you can pick your own weapon, say if you like the AR better or you like the BR better, you can just start with that. Everyone's going to end up having a better time in multiplayer, even if they're sort of a believer in that everyone should start with the same weapon.
Yeah.
Well, and there's going to be those controlled playlists where you're not going to be able to customize your loadout. There'll be a preset loadout list.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
true too.
So, and if that's the way you want to play, you go play in one of those playlists.
Yep.
Yeah, and Frankie stressed that so many times I've seen on Halo Gaff, that classic Halo playlists and game types are gonna be there. Like, we're not forcing you guys to do anything. You can
Right.
play Halo how you want to play it.
I think that's one of the things people are kind of missing. I mean, I think a majority of the people understand that, but there are other people out there that really don't quite get that yet.
Yeah, and the same thing with drop-in games. Like, people are complaining, "Oh my God, drop-in games." It's like, well, you're complaining people quit. What do you want?
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you
Right.
want a full party or do you want an empty party? I mean, come on.
I'm perfectly fine with that, because if we play big team battle, they score one flag, you guys go out, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
then
like, what's the
it sort of
point?
ruins it for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so being able to have the extra players come in, and this is just for social games. This isn't for ranked ones that you're going to see. So
I believe
there's-
they've hinted towards that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's likely going to be a ranked objective, ranked Slayer, possibly ranked big team that you won't be able to just drop in. Like, teams can go in and actually play for a competitive match and really duke it out and really go hardcore at it. And then there's going to be the social games where it's like a little more freeform, it's a little more chill, and having the ability for people to drop in and fill those gaps, I think, is a nice addition.
Yeah, definitely needed.
I hope they just announce ranks soon, because I know people are getting really antsy on the competitive side, because that was a big driving factor in Halo 2 and 3, for us at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've basically, I want to say they've said there's two different ranking systems. One is more visible than the other, and I think that's where the EXP ranking system comes in. That's your Spartan rank. But I think there is another ranking system which they haven't talked about much at all.
Yeah.
That's
We're
going to
sort of
be
still
put in
waiting
play.
to
That's
hear.
more skill based.
Yeah.
And
Hopefully
I-
they'll.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say. Hopefully, they haven't talked much about that pure skill-based ranking system. But I mean, hopefully it's in there, because I know that's a big thing for a lot of people. They like that sort of anxious feeling they get when they're almost losing a game to keep their rank and that sort of thing. So it's a big part to a lot of people in the community. So hopefully it can stick around, or rather come back for Halo 4.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have a feeling it will, and I bet some of those competitive players that actually went to go to 343 and play test for them, they probably know that's coming. So
we should press them for information.
Those NDAs, man. We tried.
Break your NDA. Break free.
It was cool though. Bungie has sent out players in the past to like maybe test a game out for a day or two, but this is the first time like MLG players have been out to the offices for 2 weeks, talking about the game, working on the game. They also did work on the strategy guide, but it's kind of cool. They got a glimpse at the game, maybe threw in what they thought or what had to be tweaked. So
yeah.
Hope both parties benefited from it.
I mean, that just reinforces 343's concentration on the community and how important the community is to making Halo 4 the best Halo game that they know to make.
Yeah.
And I think that's really comforting to a lot of people.
Yeah. I like the fact that there's going to be that in the strategy guide, as opposed to just like a campaign walkthrough and then sort of overviews of the multiplayer maps. I'm not sure if they've done that in the past where they had actual like, multiplayer tips from established players, but I think it's just one step, another step to bringing everyone in the community together, or at least having everyone in the community understand each other.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked about primary weapons. Let's talk about grenades. Or do you guys want to talk about secondary weapons at all? I know that's kind of a mute point, but
I think just real quick, I think the bolt shot looks cool. I mean, that's really all I have to say. We've seen the pistol and we know how the plasma pistol works, but I think the bolt shot's going to be a cool addition to where you can overcharge it and it's like a short range shotgun or it's like a normal pistol. So I'm definitely itching to get my hands on that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
No, I haven't gotten my hands on it, but there was a rumor that if you have an overcharged bolt shot, that it kills in one hit.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I think we saw that today on the Giant Bomb stream.
Yeah,
they were killing people in one shot with the overcharge. And it's interesting how it works too, because you don't actually have to reload right after that overcharge. It only takes up half of the ammo. So you can sort of almost get two chances at that I mean, granted, if the other guy's, missing all his shots or what have you, and you get the second chance. But yeah, one overcharge only takes up half of the ammo in the bolt shot.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool. Yeah, and I'm sure the range will be, pretty limited. My guess is it's sort of taking the role of like a Mauler.
Oh yeah, I love the Mauler in Halo 3.
Yeah,
love that.
I'm guessing it'll sort of feel like that, the overshot or overcharge at least.
What I meant to ask is, I haven't noticed any visible difference between like the Promethean shotgun and the human shotgun. Have they said anything about that, or
the scatter shot seems kind of more...
It bounces too.
Yeah,
yeah. Besides that, like as far as damage and everything goes in range.
Yeah, that's sort of one of those things we have to test. I feel like just get our hands on it and.
From what I've seen, I think it seems a little slightly underpowered than the human shotgun, and I haven't had my hands on it, so I don't exactly know, but. From what I've seen, it looks a little underpowered from the human shotgun.
Yeah, I would agree. It looks the same way.
I don't know if any of you guys have played Unreal Tournament, any of those games before, but back to what Ray said about it bouncing, it reminded me of the flat cannon from that game.
Yeah.
You could bounce it around walls or something to get some kills. I think that'd be pretty cool.
It also has like a bullet drop on it. So after, a certain range, the rounds actually will go down or sink, almost like if anyone's familiar with Battlefield 3, how the sniper at long range works, is actually that bullet drop on it. So I'll be interested to see. My theory behind that is so let's say the human shotgun, it doesn't bounce and it has like a definitive range. So outside of that certain range, the bullets or the shells are going to do less damage. My hunch is that the scatter shot actually won't have like a damage drop off. You'll see it. So if you can work that trajectory, you can actually do more damage from a farther distance is my guess on how it's going to be balanced. So the human shotgun will be stronger up close, but if you're sort of more masterful with that scatter shot, you might be able to get kills at a farther range.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. I mean, yeah, you would still have the projectiles going. It'd be more spread out, but if you actually manage to land a couple hits, you may be able to take out like someone with no shields from a greater distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we do have a new grenade, though. What do you guys think of the new grenade type?
It's like an EMP kind of thing, right? Because I've always seen the orange ball kind of thing, out in the playing field, but I haven't really seen it actually in action or real. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen how it affects like other players. Like I know obviously it would stop a warthog or something, but
there's a couple.
I don't know how practical it would be outside of that.
What's that Halo 3 equipment thing? I'm forgetting the name. The
power
blue
trainer.
one. Yeah, power trainer. That's what it kind of reminds me of, in more of an idle way instead of rolling like the other one than Halo 3 per se.
Yeah. So my idea on that grenade, and I really like it. I think it's going to have a lot more of a use than people think. It seems like it's more heavily leaning towards an anti-vehicle type grenade, but I think it serves as like a great deterrent from player movement. So I was thinking on the map like Exile, so there's the big open field, and you can throw, say, your pulse grenade there to stop like a warthog or a tank or a banshee, but then there's those caverns off to the side. And so I was thinking of it like say you're in this is a weird way to think of it. Let's say you're like a ninja will throw down that smoke bomb so that he can disappear for a second and run away.
Yeah.
So my idea of how to use this, and there's like a whole class set up behind it, and this is why I'm in love with these classes, because I can sit here and think about this stuff all day. So say you have like the active camo armor ability, and then the mobility armor mod, so you can sprint unlimited, and then you have the stealth, so you're less visible to Promethean vision and that sort of thing. So say you get caught with like low shields in that cave, you can throw down one of these pulse grenades, and the enemy's not going to want to run through it. At which point you can turn on your active camo, so now you're invisible and you can run away. Yeah. So it's sort of like this not get out of jail free card, but it's like an escape route. It's like that ninja smoke bomb that he throws down so that he can run away undetected. So I think it's going to have a lot you
I think we know what Euphorix is going to use when he gets his hands on Halo 4.
I think I just gave it away. Maybe.
Watch out for the Invis sprinter that uses pulse grenades.
And what we touched on earlier, people are always hating these new things added, but the great thing 343 that there's just so many that we can play the playstyle we like, and for us at least, improve the skill gap for our kind of settings of what we want to do, instead of being stuck in a rut where we can always expand on what they've added.
Right. It leaves it more open-ended to the player, which I really like.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be user-tailored in this. I think, like you guys said, it's going to be a lot more fun for people to play.
Yeah, and like play with, not even in the sense of actually playing the game, but experimenting with these different classes and these different setups and the way things work. That's part of the fun for me. Just being like a competitive player, just finding these new things, discovering new things. For an example, like there's a game, an indie game on the Xbox Live, and these guys already know what I'm talking about.
Oh my god!
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's called Murder Miners, and everyone was obsessed with it. But like, I'm like figuring out these ways to jump. Like you can actually ghost jump if you're familiar with like the technique in Halo 2 and 3 where you can jump off invisible edges. Well, you can do that at a block's height in Murder Miners. So essentially, you can double jump. Then there's a way to like glitch the dash in the game so that you can get like a super bounce by backdashing and then ghost jumping twice off a ledge. And there's all these like cool new ways that I'm discovering to move about the map and stuff in this game. And that's why I'm partly excited for Halo 4, because there's these like armor abilities like thruster pack and the unlimited sprint and the grenade, like the explosive. So this is a whole nother, I'm all over the place. But so there's the armor mod explosives, which reduces the grenade damage.
Right.
Well, grenade jumping was something it was only available on host in Halo 2. In Halo 3, everyone could do it, but it wasn't that effective because it took so much damage. Well, now there's this armor mod that reduces grenade damage, so I'm thinking that maybe it'll make grenade jumping come back, because an individual can, equip this armor mod, and now he takes less damage from grenades, so he can be, getting in all these advantageous positions and getting on higher ground quicker because has a more viable option to grenade jump. So it's all these cool things that 343 is leaving open-ended to us that we can experiment and play with and see what works and what doesn't. And that's that's whole part of the experience as well for me.
Yeah.
I agree.
You're spending a lot of time thinking about this, Frank.
Yeah.
I actually just thought of that right now. I can't lie. I can't lie. That was right now. But yeah, it's cool.
Very nice. But yeah, going back to the pulse grenade, so it's basically an EMP grenade, and I don't know. So and this was really quick. I think I got hit with the pulse grenade, and if I got hit with it, the initial blast that goes out, if you're in that, it does damage to you, and if you're right near it, it kills you. But it stays there for about 5 or 6 seconds, and if you go into it, it's basically like an EMP. So if you drive into it, your vehicle gets drained out, your shields start to drain, all that stuff. So it's basically an EMP grenade.
Does it affect armor abilities at all?
I don't know.
That would be interesting too.
Yeah. Could like drain that, kind of like basically the thing from Halo 3.
Yeah, you couldn't use like Promethean vision to see where you ran away to or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe the energy just drained a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anyone really, because the pulse grenades were pickup anyways, so I don't know if people really looked into getting that much detail with it.
Yeah, it'd be hard to test and sort of observe.
Yeah.
We need the Halo Mythbusters again. You guys remember those videos?
Oh yeah.
I love those.
We should do that. Ray, don't tell anyone. We'll start that as a...
Yeah, cut that out. Cut that
out.
You heard it here first, people.
Yeah. Look for Ray's brand new series, Mythbusters, where we dress him up like Jamie Heineman and give him a fake mustache and a beret.
If that was possible to do in
That's
Halo...
The guy with the beanie.
Yeah, Jamie's the one with the beanie.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big Titanic nerd, so I found out today they're going to do some Titanic stuff. So I'm excited for that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, that's
Very
so
nice.
random. Yeah.
Moving on to some other weapons, we saw the concussion rifle make a comeback and the fuel rod.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think about those?
We didn't really see gameplay of them, did we?
Yeah, we saw them sort of as pickups. I'm not sure if I saw anyone actually use them. I'm glad. I'm a huge fan. I really like the concussion rifle in Reach. I wish it was incorporated in more maps, and I personally think MLG should have taken a harder look at using it.
It feels a little more powerful than the one in Reach.
Wow,
I
thought
thought that's good.
Powerful. Well, I don't know. Like I've played like Quake.
Direct hit is more powerful. I'll know at range, but I think at direct hit, I think concussion rifle is a little bit more powerful than the Reach one.
Cool, because I know it was a 2-shot kill if you got body shots in Reach.
I thought it was 3.
Which is it 3? Okay. So yeah, I always thought it was fairly strong. I never had a big problem with it, but if it's even stronger, I'm gonna love it even more.
Yeah. So I think the pushback is a little bit harder direct hit, so it's a little bit harder to get your next shot, and I think the splash damage is a little bit less. So I think that's kind of the balancing factor. If I remember right, I had it once, so that this is off my one-time experience. Fuel rod cannon feels a little underpowered, to be honest.
Interesting.
Yeah, I always thought that it's more of a campaign kind of weapon when I always against vehicles. I always remembered that from Halo.
It was powerful in Halo 3. I got a little buff in Halo Reach, which was alright, but in Halo 4 it doesn't feel like it's the weapon you want to use. Yeah.
It's been carbined.
Well, that's what I don't know. Well, it's like
the rocket launcher's been a little nerfed too.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm not sure how I feel about that long trail. You know, that little.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Sniper bullet.
I like the gray smoke behind it. To be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like that white smoke.
It looks like a Sega Saturn animation.
Yeah, I think they're putting that there though, so you have a better chance of avoiding it. I really think it's for newer players who might get like frustrated with rocket kills, because I know they did a similar thing. Like Shadowrun, actually, the game on 360, I don't know how many people are familiar, but it had the same thing. It had a trail to where the rocket was actually going, which made it less powerful because you could predict it and get out of the way. So I think that's probably what they're trying to do in Halo 4. But from what I heard, I don't know if anyone, or if there's any incinerator cannon, that new Promethean one.
Yeah, that looks bad.
But yeah, Nexi, who played it, he said he got it as a pickup, and he said it absolutely destroys. Like, it's the craziest thing he's ever like used in a Halo game. So I think they're trying to make that like the main focus explosive weapon and maybe tune the rocket launcher and fuel rod down.
Yeah, I don't think I actually saw the incinerator. Like, I saw it just in passing, but I didn't really get a good look at it being used.
Yeah, it's kind of funny being
I'm
home
assuming there's
on
a video somewhere about it, though.
Yeah, like this stuff comes out and they're like, wait, is that real? Because some of the newer players are not familiar with Halo. They kind of throw in their own words for a weapon, and we're always double checking this stuff, and we're like, yeah, it was really cool when it came out. I was like, what the hell is that?
The beast.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the BFG.
Yeah.
I think we have pretty much every weapon that's... Yeah. I think they said every weapon that they have in the game has been revealed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good. I really hope they gotta do one of those videos again for the Covenant and Promethean.
I have a feeling they're going to. More wub.
Yeah. I hope they really put more wub in the new one. I think that's what the last one was lacking.
I thought it was fine, to be honest. I thought it served well.
Is that part of Halo soundtrack now?
Yeah.
I have a feeling. Well, I have a feeling
language.
No, I have a feeling it's going to be part of that the 2-disc one.
The remix thing that they're doing.
I think that probably came from that part. I'm guessing.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I love that they're doing that.
Yeah.
On a completely unrelated note, but that'll be cool.
Price is a little steep, but like if it's cheaper, I might get that. What was it? The regular edition CD's around like $12, and the Ultra.
I think it's $14.99 or something like that.
Yeah, then the Ultra edition of the CD's like $80 or so. Something.
Yeah, but you get a bunch of extra stuff. You get like a DLC code. You get an armor for your avatar. You get a lot of extra things with it.
All that Halo swag.
Yeah, all the Halo swag. you get like a making of the Halo 4 soundtrack, like probably DVD of some kind. So I was one of those guys that tried to get it in within the 500 people so I can get one signed.
Oh, nice. Did you get it?
I'm thinking I did. I don't know. I mean, I won't know until I get it.
Watch it like 501.
That would suck. That would really suck.
That would be crushing. That would be crushing.
One more weapon we haven't covered yet is the suppressor, which is basically like the Promethean AR, which we really didn't see much of. We knew it was there, but we didn't see it that much during PAX.
I don't think I've seen too much. Have I seen footage of it? I'm trying to think of. I know what it looked like.
I think someone posted footage of it the other day.
Yeah, I know I've seen it used once, but they sort of like couldn't. They weren't like doing much damage with it on a map like Exile, which is sort of a larger map. I think a lot of people just stayed away from the ARs because they're more of close range combat. So I think we saw a little bit of it, but I'm curious to see if it's going to be much different than an assault rifle or the storm rifle, or how it's going to function differently.
Yeah.
I would imagine that it might be on the level of the storm rifle. I think the assault rifle, they've kind of played it to where you can actually kind of manage it in terms with the BR, the DMR at a lot closer range. But from what I heard people talking about it, it wasn't that powerful.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I guess we'll see if it gets buffed up in the final build or what they decide to do with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping they have enough gameplay to evaluate it and actually get good details on it.
Right.
I mean, I just imagine how many stats they're collecting over the entire duration of the weekend.
Yeah.
It's got to be just crazy.
So, all right. Moving on to armor abilities. So, for the final
armor
list...
mods. Sorry.
Yeah, well, they call them armor abilities, so...
I don't know if Euphorix's thing is armor mods.
Yeah. So, I guess I'll read these off for people who don't know what they are. There's Auto Sentry, there's Active Camo, Thruster Pack, Promethean Vision, Regeneration Field, Jetpack, Hologram, and Hard Light Shield. So the ones that we really saw used at PAX pretty much were the Sentry, Thruster Pack. We didn't see as much Promethean Vision as we did in E3. We saw the Regen Shield, or the Regen Field, and the Hard Light Shield. So those were pretty much, from what I saw, the big armor abilities that were used. What do you guys think about the Auto Sentry? It's like you stand there for a few seconds. It looks like you're being like hailed from God or something.
Oh, the Super Saiyan
You go
thing.
Super Saiyan,
Yeah,
yeah.
for like 3 seconds, and this little sentry pops up.
Yeah.
That out. Yeah, but
I think people are going to find really good uses for it in objective game types. But I think sort of everyone was learning how to use it at PAX. So people were trying to, call it in and they were just getting killed and that was that. But I think in like game types like King of the Hill, it'll be used a lot. And say like to defend maybe your flag in flag games, obviously. It'll get used. So I'm interested to see. It appeared really weak though. I think it only took maybe a few bullets before it was destroyed. So
It seemed pretty defenseless.
yeah, it didn't have a lot of shields on it, which I'd like. So it'll encourage people to put it in smart locations where the turret's sort of hiding around corners or it's got its own cover, as opposed to just throwing it in the middle of a map and it getting a few free kills for you. So I think it looked well balanced. It looked like a good combination of you having to place it in a smart place and use it intelligently and if you did that, then it could net you some assists and that sort of thing.
Right. And it's more like a deterrent than an actual offensive or defensive mod.
Definitely.
I like it too because I don't know how old school some of the listeners or you guys are, but one of my favorite guns from Perfect Dark was the laptop gun, and it seemed kind of like a similar idea to that. Not that you throw it up against a wall, but you can basically make your own area on the map if you wanted to block it off and do your own thing there. Not so much camping, but for CTF and I'm just thinking of how you could do that in the canyons per se on Exile. I like it.
All right.
I haven't seen much of it, so I don't have an opinion yet.
I mean, one of the other things, we actually didn't see this much, but the regen field is actually pretty interesting because it's almost like a bubble shield in a way, with the slight regen capability. So whenever you do the regen field, there is kind of that hard barrier there. If I remember right, I don't exactly. Yeah, I think there's a little hard barrier there, but you can still walk in and out of it.
You can shoot through it, right? I thought it was just kind of like a foggy thing from Halo 3's regen, from what I saw in the gameplay.
I mean, I only saw it once or twice, so maybe I just saw it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like a fart cloud kind of thing.
It's like a mist or a fog. Yeah, that was the impression I got. Maybe there is some damage reduction, or maybe it's just because you're actually regenning in it that it feels that way. But yeah, I think that'll be good for if you're allowed to use armor abilities like in Hill and things like that. It'll be used more so towards that regard, or say with like an oddball carrier. But I don't really see it. I don't see it as being as effective as it was in Halo 3, where you could sort of almost camp in it and dodge things. It felt a little more balanced to where you'd have to use it again, like strategically, and there's like a time and place for it, because there is that, like power up time where you've got to actually be vulnerable to place it down. So I like that aspect of it. I think it's a nice mixture of like the regen field and drop shield and almost like a health pack type combination. So I think it's executed really well.
All right. So this is an interesting one that I've heard kind of multiple opinions on in terms of competitive Halo. But what are your guys' opinions on the hard light shield?
I love it. Honestly, you can do so many things. I'm not like Q4, so I think of nerdy strategies per se of how we can incorporate these things. And with CTF now in Halo 4, the flag guy is kind of defenseless, but he does have the pistol. But with the bloom, it's going to make it a lot harder. But if I can help my flag carrier run that in and block his body per se, be his little bodyguard, Whitney Houston kind of thing going on with the hard light shield, I think that there's so many strategies and so many cool things you can do with that. And Nexi actually released a gameplay where he used the hard light shield really effectively in gameplay, blocking grenades, blocking melees, tricking out people. And at first I thought I'm not going to lie, I thought it was going to be kind of stupid, but after seeing it played out, I really like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty strong. I think it's going to be the go-to. If you're not using Promethean Vision, or I think Thruster, Promethean Vision, and Hard Light Shield, to me right now look like the big three. And I think Hard Light Shield actually provides you with some advantages that the other two don't. So the hard light shield seems more effective in tapping it, meaning you can manage your armor ability meter more effectively, whereas they've tweaked Promethean Vision to be sort of almost a one-time use. Then you've got to let it recharge, and Thruster in the same regard. Then you have the 6-second recharge time on it, whereas hard light, it looks like you can still kind of tap and manage it. So my idea towards utilizing that armor ability as well is, since it puts you into third-person mode, you can actually use it to look around corners. So on a map like Haven or Adrift, where there's sort of these long corridors that you have the corners to look around, you can actually use it not only to block bullets and things like that, but to actually gain a better view of the map. So that's probably the one I'm most excited to get my hands on, and I think will end up being one of the most used and strongest armor abilities.
All right. LastMan?
Yeah, I think I liked the way Nexi was playing with it in his gameplay. You know, I think that especially for competitive gameplay, it's going to be well used, and some of the strategies, like someone like Blaze, I think that in Reach he came up with a lot of creative strats, and Ryan Noob as well. I'd like to see what they can come up with once they get their hands on the game if they decide to play. And like Ray said, I had the same idea with running the flag, protecting your flag carrier with the hard light shield. I guess that's one of the more obvious ones, but it'll be nice to see how things play out with it for sure.
All right. Out of the 8 armor abilities that we have, what would your guys' go-to armor ability be, do you think?
Since I haven't played it, I just want to use Promethean Vision just to say that it's not overpowered. That's the only reason.
Just to be able to make the counter argument. Yeah.
Well, Bravo put up a nice comparison video yesterday.
Yeah, where they did do quite a few changes since E3 build, where when you tap the Promethean Vision now, you have to actually wait the whole time instead of using it at certain times. Like if you only use a third of it.
Yeah, that's what Euphorics. Yeah, that's what Euphorics just said.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's
all right.
Yeah, that in combination, like when a big thing about the E3 was that not everything was available. So now we know that the active camo actually makes you
it's just your outline, right?
Blue,
yeah,
right? It's
outline.
just a blue outline. So there's the stealth armor mod, which makes you just a red outline. But now active camo makes you a blue outline, so you're even harder to see. Yeah. So I think, everyone was sort of shocked at how strong it was by itself when the only other, armor abilities available were like the hologram and that. But now that everything's sort of in the sandbox together, it's playing really well and there's better options. So to answer the question, the thing I would be most looking forward to is the hard light shield. And just because I feel like if you set up your class right in conjunction with that armor ability, you're going to be able to build a really strong tank-like class. So my idea is to set up like a light rifle, since I think that's going to be the best. Then maybe a bolt shot secondary, so that you can use that overcharge to kill people really quickly up close. Then have just like your standard frag grenade, since that'll probably be the best at killing enemies. Then if you use the hard light shield, then the shielding armor mod, which will make your shields recharge faster. And then you pair that with the explosives. You're going to have a really strong class that's going to be hard to kill, since your shields will recharge faster. You'll have a shield you can put up to block bullets and explosives and things. Then you'll also be taking less grenade damage. So I think that's honestly probably the first class I'm going to try out.
Sounds bad.
Yeah, that sounds like
sick. That was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I haven't really seen this yet, but it's just this idea kind of popped in my head. Has there been any word that there's actually a visual representation of what armor mod you're using?
Yeah, on the... Wait, I mean like on your own screen? Because I know there's a little circle to the bottom.
Like on your Spartan, so you can tell what armor ability someone's using, what tactical package someone's using, and what support upgrade they're using.
I know for thrusters or something like that, don't they have like that hunchback kind of thing going
on?
For
armor abilities, I think they're just like the ones in Reach. You have kind of the color thing on your bag that kind of signifies what you have. But in terms of like tactical packages and support upgrades,
I got you.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a visual cue.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Or maybe some will have it where like the sort of maybe
like firepower might have like it's a little bit more bulky.
Yeah,
because you can carry two primary.
Yeah, maybe like with explosives, since you're actually taking less grenade damage, your shield will look different if you're getting hit by a grenade or something like that. That'll be interesting to see because I think there should be to sort of almost avoid confusion in gameplay. Like, why is it this guy dying? I'm hitting him with grenades. But if your shield's maybe a different color, if it flashes a different color when you're getting hit by grenades, it'll just help basically make the game more enjoyable since you know why that guy's taking less damage or something to that respect.
I just thought about that, and I don't think anyone's really looked into that so far, so we'll have to see. Okay, moving on to tactical packages. We have shielding, mobility, fast track, firepower, grenadier, resupply, requisition, wheelman, and AA efficiency, armor ability efficiency. So we have 9 of those. Out of those, because a lot of those were done in menu, I'm not exactly sure which ones were chosen a lot, but I think armor ability efficiency was definitely chosen quite a bit. Mobility was chosen, shielding was chosen. Firepower, I know I use firepower a lot. Grenadier a little bit, resupply a little bit, but I think requisition and wheelman weren't really chosen that much during packs.
I can't see those getting picked a lot.
I almost see them
that
more
seems
as
more
those
big team.
Being geared towards Spartan Ops is I think sort of why those are in there. I can see those being really effective in Spartan Ops if you're getting EMP'd by a lot of Covenant or something like that, where vehicles are a little more important maybe in some of the missions, like maybe there's like a convoy mission or something like that. So I think they're sort of going to be tailored. So there's all these mods you can choose, but I think they're going to be more effective in certain playlists, like the reroll one or resupply for like Infinity Slayer game types. Then you sort of have your general like mobility, dexterity, which is sort of useful all around. And then the wheelman and things like that would be more useful in like a Spartan Ops scenario or a big team battle.
I think that firepower would be good, at least competitively, if you're more of a BR Slayer type where, you're not specifically wielding power weapons, but you're the type that just, runs around the map racking up as many kills as you can with just your primary and helping your team out that way. That way, when you run out and then with your first weapon, you can just swap over to your second and not have to worry about scavenging for more ammunition and things like that.
Well, the interesting thing would be is if you do something like a light rifle and DMR combo.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and you if you master like those two weapons, you can really pick out which one works in certain situations, and you have kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and here's another thought. This just popped into my head. So if the light rifle and say the DMR or the BR, whichever you end up preferring, if that's your sort of your go-to guns, then your armor mods could be firepower and dexterity. So normally you run into that scenario where maybe you didn't reload your gun and you're sort of in like a DMR duel or a battle rifle duel, what have you, and both of you are reloading. If you've got the dexterity and firepower, you're actually going to be able to switch weapons faster and have that second primary weapon. So you'll probably win that fight 9 times out of 10. Because while he's reloading, you can switch to another primary weapon and finish him off while he basically can't shoot you.
Or you can reload faster.
Yeah. And you might not even have to reload. You can just switch faster and have a fully loaded, light rifle or DMR in your back pocket. So if I feel like everyone who listens to this, who's going to go into matchmaking on like day one, has the best advantage they could possibly get. all these ideas, like they're gonna be like, they're gonna be just like, teabagging everyone running around. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, the funny thing is, like after a month or so, you're gonna see this balance where people figure out how they play, and then you're gonna see everyone really kind of hone in on certain weapons and armor upgrades and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool to see how the game progresses for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering how long it's going to take to like unlock these things. I'm going to guess once you hit about Spartan rank 20, you're going to have just about everything unlocked. Would be my guess.
Yeah, I'll be interested because they've also mentioned that they're going to sort of release the specialization armor mods sort of down the road. So
at
those
community milestones.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I I hope it's not like Reach. It sort of felt like they left that stagnant too long, and I think a lot of people got disinterested then as well when they saw their EXP not go up. So hopefully they'll sort of quicken their pace with regards to that.
So support upgrades are mobility, ammo, dexterity, sensor, awareness, stability, explosives, wetworks, gunner, and ordnance priority. So out of those, there's
Mobility's
definitely
one. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say there's some of those that are definitely more geared towards stuff like Spartan Ops.
Yeah, and then the Infinity Slayer with the ordnance priority and things like that. But I think the ones most at least competitive players will probably flock to is like dexterity and explosives. Being able to reload faster can give you an upper hand in getting kills, and same with having more powerful grenades and taking less damage from grenades. It can allow you to push a little harder or be more aggressive in your playstyle. So I think those are the two I'm probably going to flock towards, at least at the beginning. So
I would almost say sensor and awareness too would be kind of two that would get picked for competitive, because awareness, being able to have the motion tracker while you're scoped in, being able to see if someone comes behind you while you're sniping is going to be a lifesaver in a lot of circumstances.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how it plays out, and hopefully, like, I'm kind of, I don't know, maybe the black sheep on this, but for competitive settings, or at least MLG wise, they've always taken out the radar. But I know they've built in, at least with Promethean Vision, and I'm assuming a couple other armor abilities, indications to when they're using that armor ability. So when a player on the enemy team uses Promethean Vision, there's actually a red circle that emanates from his red dot on the radar. So I'd like to see the radar sort of stay in for a while. Not have the competitive players just rip it out like normal, because it's sort of built into the game at this point. I wouldn't want to affect the balance that 343 intended so quickly off the start. So, but yeah, if the radar stays in the long run, those could also still be viable options.
I agree. But yeah, dexterity, explosives, and mobility. I don't know if we'll see that one used as much now because everyone has sprint. You're not.
I was actually thinking about using that, to be honest, because I hate playing Reach or Call of Duty, and my guy stops running, and I'm just like,
you feel stuck.
Maybe like you're all slowed down, and you're like,
I think it'll be definitely useful.
Yeah, especially in I'm just curious, maybe sprint over to the flag, throw them off, something like that.
Nah, for power weapons off the initial spawn. I think everyone.
That's true.
I think most people's first loadout, until their first death, will probably be a class with mobility. So they'll run to those power weapons and those power positions off the start, and then if they die, then they can sort of recollect and see what loadout they need to go to next to adapt towards whatever direction the game's going.
Mm-hmm. I like how Euphorix is just giving away his strategies right now.
I know. Hey, you're gonna figure it out sooner or later. So
That's true.
Yeah, might as well just get it all out there now. Have everyone.
Or maybe you're trying to fool us.
Oh yeah, maybe I'm gonna be camped with a camo while you're all running. I'm just hiding in a corner. Yeah. Well, that's interesting too, is how Halo 4 might play out that way. You're gonna have strategies and then counter strategies, which is something that's
it's just so much variety. It's a playground of being able to customize your playing experience.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that nothing's too strong to where this is the end all be all decision. I'm hoping that things will fluctuate. So I have like a sine curve in regards to, okay, everyone's using hard light shield and with explosives. How do I counter it? Okay, now everyone's using that. Okay, and then it goes up and down with what people are using and how the game's evolving, and that's what keeps things interesting and keeps me coming back towards the Halo experience. So I'm giddy about that stuff.
Yeah.
Or Ray, go ahead.
With that too. I don't know if you're too familiar with StarCraft, but when that came out, there was this. Frank would know more about it because I don't know too much, but I know there was this one ultimate class and people couldn't beat it until they finally worked and figured out some way to beat it. And it's just, you just have to figure out the game first and let it evolve before you just throw it out and say it's bad or has to be nerfed, so on. So a lot of players like to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's sort of what we've preached on our website too, and tried to help the competitive players understand, especially people coming from MLG. We're like, with Reach, like day one of the game, everyone had their own version of the competitive setting, and it ended up hurting the game in the long run because divides the community into all these subsections. So
Yeah, we had
I'd like to see people just leave Halo 4 alone and just play the game first before you say, oh, this is overpowered, take it out. You know, that sort of mentality.
Day one, what they have like 150 speed with Vade or something crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone
Goodness
has
gracious.
crazy ideas.
Yeah. Never let those people touch Halo.
150% speed?
Yeah, I don't. It was something.
It was one. Here's what it was. It was Asylum 1v1, no weapons on map. It was sniper DMR start with evade at like 120 speed and something like 200% gravity. And someone was like,
my friend.
this is the best way to play Halo. And I was like, probably not.
Yeah, dark
Wow.
times. Yeah.
All right.
So that's what we're like. We're like with our website. We're like, okay, we're kind of in charge of these people. Let's make sure they know not to do anything like that ever again.
Yeah.
No, that's kind
cool,
of
guys.
absolute. But yeah, no, we think that like the thing with 343 is this is their version of the game, and it's how the direction they want to take the Halo franchise, both campaign, Spartan Ops, and multiplayer. So we have to digest how they want the game to be played first before we can say, or a league can say, oh, we shouldn't have this weapon in or that weapon in. We should let it evolve organically, and then if something, is blatantly broken, then you remove it. You don't just strip the game down because you think that the DMR is the only way to play or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
With that too, people have to realize this is 343 and not Bungie, and don't get the stigma because Bungie did something earlier. It's going to be the same in this game, because I haven't heard one person complain about the bloom. Have you heard anybody? I haven't heard anybody complain about the bloom.
Mm-mm.
And
the bloom's only on like those secondary weapons.
Or the DMR too.
DMR a little bit.
Yeah, and the spread attack VR.
Right.
But it's almost negligible. And
exactly.
People haven't said much about it, so.
Yeah. So we're optimistic, but we want to just make sure no one's like, focus rifle starts for everyone or something crazy,
Yeah.
Right. Oh, focus rifle. Ugh.
Dark times.
Ugh. Ugh. All right. So we basically just went through the whole list for everything included in the loadout. There are little extra things though called specializations. For you guys who are not aware of those, we have 8 of those that are going to be unlockable, and once you hit Spartan rank 50, you'll be able to enlist in one of these specializations, and it's another additional 10 ranks, and throughout that you unlock some of the armor abilities and
more goodies.
Some more goodies.
Mm-hmm.
So those are Wetworks, Pioneer, Engineer, Tracker, Rogue, Stalker, Pathfinder, and Operator. So I'm assuming you guys probably have already seen it. So was there anyone that kind of really stuck to you?
I'm just curious as how effective things will be. Those ones honestly sounded like some of the weaker ones out of the bunch, which I found interesting. So it's almost it's almost like the name exactly says. It's a specialization. So if you're like specializing in a quiet, stealthy class, then you'd want to have the one, I believe it's Wetworks, that reduces the sound of your footsteps. If that's like an advantage
quieter
towards
one,
you.
sprinting, shorter assassination. The one Frank, you mentioned this a while back, but I kind of wanted to try Pioneer, where you get an experience boost, and we can just level up pretty quickly and get our hands on all the new weapons and experiment. This is what we like.
Cool. So I mean, it's just as the name says, it's a specialization, almost to a higher extent than the other customization that you experience with the loadout. So I think it's pretty cool. I'm honestly more excited to unlock things like as nerdy as it sounds, I'm super into like customizing your Spartan with different armor and skins in that. So I'm almost more looking forward to that side of it than even the main thing you unlock. I definitely want, if anyone checks it out, the Operator. I don't know why, but I'm going for this one first because you get an emblem that says OP on it. And for anyone who's like involved in the competitive community, OP generally stands for overpowered. Yep. Instead of Operator. So I want the OP emblem. So people are like, that's OP.
Alrighty. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm personally curious about which one was it? I forget which one it's called, but for
Stalker, I feel like you're talking about. Is it the one where you appear on radar or like appear to the other player?
No. It's the one where you call in your requisition, and if you don't get something you like, you can re-roll and call in
Oh
another
yeah.
one. Yeah, I'm curious to see how
That is
exactly
tracker.
that one's gonna
That's
play
the
out.
tracker one.
Tracker.
Yeah, I want to see how that one is because I mean, theoretically you can roll 3 times. So
Something.
I mean,
No way.
if you're waiting for like this,
No, it's just one
super
reroll.
powerful weapon. Oh, it's one reroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you get the 3 options. You get either a grenade, weapon, or power up,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
you get another reroll, and you get 3 different selections.
With that too.
Oh, okay.
I wonder how predictable it will become, or how if there's gonna be some kind of system we can figure out, not to cheat it, but like predict
To know.
it. Yeah.
Like counting cards.
Yeah, we're gonna be counting ordnance drops.
Yeah, like if there's only 2 power-ups, or I think there's 3, right? There's damage, speed, and overshield. So maybe if you know like it's damage, then generally, yeah. People like edging your bets in matchmaking is.
Oh my god, we could start our own mini game. Cut this out too.
counting ordnance.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna start our own little casino.
If you have a needler and plasma, your chance of getting the overshield is 38%.
God.
That'd be crazy.
I have someone.
Before
I
you
feeling
roll,
someone
be sure
is.
to equip these weapons.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. That would take a lot of time and evaluation of a lot of games, though.
There'd be a lot of time spent just alone in Infinity Slayer.
Yeah,
just
right.
down ordnance. Yeah.
It's like
Somebody
work.
might care that much, so.
Someone's gotta do it.
It's like numbers or something for Halo. All right. So since we've gone through everything, what would why doesn't everyone run down what their initial first loadout whenever you get into Halo 4? If everything was available to you, what would your loadout be? Your one
shit.
loadout.
Okay, I can start since you guys. I don't know if
I'm Googling
Ray
like
or Brandon
crazy right
can-
now.
All right, mine's the one I told you guys about, the tank class, man. It's gonna be so. I'm just not gonna die ever, and then 343 is gonna ban me from matchmaking. They're gonna be like, Euphorix is OP. But yeah, the tank. So for anyone who wants to jot this down, get your pen and paper ready. I'll let you guys know what I'm using. So I'm gonna want the light rifle as my primary, as long as that's still the strongest. Because I think that's, going to be one of the best for any situation. It's going to be good up close because it's got the burst. It's going to be good at range because zoomed in, it's got the single shot. Then for my secondary weapon, I'm going to want to use the bolt shot because it's got that overcharge that seems really interesting. If you get sort of caught off guard in an up close situation, you can one hit KO your opponent with that overcharged bolt. Grenade wise, I think I'm just going to end up using a frag grenade. Because I think that's probably going to be the most utility, where you can sort of kill people with it who are already low on shields or take people down who have shields. And that'll play in with the armor mod as well. Then with the armor ability, the hard light shield, so that I can sort of block any bullets or damage or anything like that might be coming my way. Then my, first armor mod would be the shielding. So that if I do get my shields taken down, I can recharge my shields quicker and get back in the action faster. And then my second armor mod will be explosives, so that my grenades will do more damage, and I'm going to take less damage from enemy grenades. So that's going to be my tank class, and I'm going to never die in matchmaking. That's the goal.
I can see like a montage come out of just like you and your tank moments, and just this like eerie, evil dubstep noise in the background.
Yeah.
I'm just. It'll
like
be set to
Euphorix
staying
is
alive.
the tank.
It'll be staying alive. By the Bee Gees. That'll be the montage song.
It's gonna be Frank the Tank.
Oh,
It just goes together, man.
Hashtag
it's almost too good.
Now.
Hashtag.
I got mine
boy.
ready. First off, I'm going to start off with firepower, meaning I have the 2 starting primaries. So I'm going to do light rifle, and I want to do battle rifle since I haven't played with it since Halo 3, so you got to get that nostalgia out of the way. Do the frag grenade, then the Promethean vision to prove that it's not overpowered.
Nice.
And the perks, Pioneer. I'm trying to think. I got so many tabs open. Oh, experience booster, yeah, because I want to level up quickly. So that would probably be my first one I'll use.
For me,
All right.
or go ahead.
No,
you're good.
Okay, for me, for my primary, I'm gonna go with the light rifle. For my secondary, probably just a plasma pistol. For my armor ability, the active camo. So I like to be sneaky. And for what's my last one that I need? For my armor mod, I will go with mobility. And for my specialization, probably, if not the stalker, I would go with the tracker.
All right. For mine, I would use firepower as well for my tactical package.
Yeah.
I haven't actually had much time with the light rifle, so I'm just going to go with my PAX loadout, and I'm going to say BR and DMR for my 2 primary weapons. Grenades would be the frag grenade. Support upgrade would probably be, I want to say either awareness or dexterity. And specialization, I'm kind of torn between a few of them. It really depends on kind of how they really play out, but my default kind of fallback one would be Pioneer. Get the XP.
Yeah.
So that would be mine.
Cool.
Did you have a specialization in yours, Euphorix?
I
I don't remember if you
I
mentioned
think,
one.
I think I just had the 2 armor mods, and then I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'll just stick with those bad boys.
Alrighty. Okay, so I know we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. I didn't think we'd actually make it this long, but apparently we are.
It's good.
Yeah.
It is.
Flew by. I didn't think it was actually an hour and a half, 40
yeah.
minutes already. I thought it was like a half hour.
Yeah, I know, right?
Shit.
So, in terms of competitive play for Capture the Flag, what are your guys' thoughts on the new Capture the Flag system, where it's automatic pickup, can't drop the flag, you have the flagnum, no armor abilities use, the new heads-up display, kind of the dynamic changing of all kind of the notifications on screen. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I'll start off. I like it a lot. The only thing that bothers me right now is they're not really sure if they're gonna add it in the customs that you can drop the flag or not auto pick it up. Those are the only 2 of my gripes.
I'm pretty sure they're going to. I don't see why they wouldn't make
Yeah,
it a
I just
custom
don't want to
option.
assume that's the issue.
Because
like, yeah,
I would think 343 is smart enough to keep it to where people can go back and experience the classic gameplay style of Halo. So
Yeah.
I would really say that they're going to keep that kind of thing in the game.
yeah. Overall, I think it's a good move. The only thing I'm afraid of with the flag, if you already don't know, it's auto pickup. So let's say you get rockets and you're fighting and you accidentally jump back and you got the flag and you're stuck with a magnum and you have to cap the flag to get those rockets back. That's the only downfall I really see with that. And I know people have been complaining about the waypoint now above your head. So that could be an issue with some players, but I think it's really going to promote communication online, but it's going to really come down to who actually has their mic in. That's the only downfall, at least.
Well, and playing off of that too is it's promoting a lot more teamwork than individualism.
Yeah.
Which it's in competitive play, it's kind of an interesting dynamic of how people kind of play as a team, yet there's a certain sense of individualism about everyone that's playing, because you usually have designated snipers, designated people that run for power weapons and all that kind of stuff. But with this, it's like, now you're going to probably have a guy that's a designated flag runner, and now everyone has to be involved with making sure that flag runner gets back, because the flag runner can't drop the flag and protect himself that as well as you could in Halo Reach or Halo 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, at least.
Yeah.
It's going to be funny, because I know that first night of playing, people are going to be like, what the hell, the flare won't drop. It's going to be a fun night.
I think it's an interesting, good new dynamic to the game.
Yeah, it's definitely 343 putting their own spin on things, per se.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that flag is auto pickup, and I'll go into why in a second, but my main worry is being able to toggle whether or not you'll be able to drop it. Because one thing that I personally really want to try, which is why I like the auto pickup, is say, for example, I'm running the flag and someone comes around the corner on the other team and starts attacking me. I can throw the flag at them.
Oh, Halo
and they'll
1.
pick the flag up. Yeah. and I can, finish them off or whatever.
You were that player in Halo 1.
This is an interesting question now. There's been like one flag game types in the past. So with auto pickup and the flagnum and like not being able to drop it, I wonder how that'll play out. That'll be interesting to see how that changes as well.
Oh yeah, neutral flag, because you're gonna have to kill the guy, and let's see they bring it right outside their destination. You're gonna have to drag your ass all the way back. Well, you'd have to do that anyways on regular game types, but it's gonna be a lot slower per se, or you can't drop anything.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, because they'll start spawning there.
I think players might be more akin to playing, or I think neutral flag might play more interesting than standard CTF now. Just because of the whole, I can't drop it, like I've got to commit. And then it respawns in the neutral location. So it's almost like this weird sort of assaulty, oddball-y, flaggy variant where it sort of combines everything in this neutral flag element because you can't drop it.
Yeah, you got to.
And the other team auto picks it up. So if someone beats you down, right? So think of this: if someone beats you down while you have the flag, they're automatically going to pick it up.
Yep.
Yeah. Then they've got to run.
What's going to happen with assassinations? Are you going to be close enough that?
Yeah, it'll be weird.
Yeah, would you auto pick?
I'm interested to see. It's one of those things. Here, I'll go into my take on it. Is like I'm neutral on it. I haven't played the game enough yet to really say, oh, this is terrible for Halo. So I see the pros and cons of each, right? And in the old mechanic, you could drop the flag, so you could defend yourself with whatever power weapon you had. Or if you had a teammate in a better position, say up top, you could toss it up to him, like on Wizard or Warlock, take your pick of the map. So now it sort of requires teamwork, but it's just a different kind of teamwork. You can still sort of set up, but you can't toss the flag. You've got to set up so that your flag carrier can stay protected. And instead of, dropping the weapon and say giving up on the flag run, now you've got to stay dedicated towards it. So for people in matchmaking, who maybe would drop the flag and just run away, and then you're in, a team of 4 or you're by yourself, and then your teammates run away and you're like, what are you doing? We were going for the cap, that sort of thing. It promotes the teamwork. So now I have the flag, I can't drop it, I've got to cap it. You know exactly what your teammate with the flag is going to do, even if he doesn't have his mic in. Mm-hmm. So I can see the pros and cons. So I'm going to, sort of reserve judgment and not say this is ruining Halo or this is saving Halo, and wait till I get my hands on it, basically.
Yeah. And that's another positive fact, that the flag runner runs the same speed now. He doesn't run any slower than that he does normally in Halo Reach. Right.
They've made the sort of appropriate tweaks, I think,
they've
to
balanced
facilitate
it out for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you share your thoughts on it already? You kind of went into the option thing, but did you have a real opinion on it, or did you happen to pick it up at PAX?
So, as far as playing, I did a couple of flag runs, and not being able to drop the flag really didn't seem to affect it that much. Because at least on Exile, there's, I don't know how much gameplay you guys seen, but there's those little kind of closed-in areas by I want to say there's like a down ship kind of near that bridge area, and then there's also the little cave system, so it's kind of easy to run away. I didn't really think not being able to drop the flag adversely affected the outcome of the game. I thought it was a nice, interesting new addition to it, and the auto pickup, I'm a little hesitant on that, but on another podcast I was doing with some of the other guys that were actually there, they made a good point where if someone parks a vehicle over the flag, now you don't have to get in the vehicle, move the vehicle, and then try to pick up the flag. So it prevents that kind of flag blocking from happening.
Yeah.
And then, I actually forgot what I was going to say, but... Oh, yeah. So here's what we've got to think about as well. This has been a design that 343 has thought about implementing from the start of their game. So all their maps are going to reflect this design change. So it's not going to be like a midship design where there's, a clearly defined upper part of your base and a lower part of your base to drop the flag down to, or something to that regard. So I think the map design is going to facilitate this whole aspect of not dropping the flag as well. And once we see all the maps, we'll kind of get a better sense of that. How, say, on midship or Zealot even, where you could drop the flag down into that basement area and then sort of make sure the coast was clear and run in there and then continue to run the flag. It's sort of the whole design philosophy of the game surrounding this mechanic has also been altered. So we have to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
Right. One of the other things about Capture the Flag that I was able to play, from a standpoint of having teammates support it and the size of Exile, it seemed like there were people there to cover pretty quickly. And I'm wondering if the size of the maps are really going to reflect how kind of that new flag style plays. Because if you look at Exile, it seemed big, but once you get in vehicles, you realize how small it actually is.
Mm.
So in terms of actual size of maps, I'm wondering how big we're actually going to see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, especially with like the Forge environments, which we're getting 3 of. Then there's rumors of the Waterworks or Sandtrap remake, which is a larger scale, definitely a larger scale map. It'll be cool to see what they come up with in terms of their map designs, because there's only one remake, which is nice. And from what I've seen, on Adrift and Haven, they're pretty unique. They're pretty standout. I know there's been comparisons to Narrows, but really the map doesn't play very similar to that. So it's simply a design aesthetic that reminds people of Narrows. So I think our map pool and the selection is going to be pretty top notch in this game, at least in the creativity and originality department, which is something we haven't really seen, since Halo 1 and 2. Every sort of map has almost been similar to another. You could say, we had Lockout in Halo 2, then we had Guardian, which was sort of a spiritual successor. Then we had Blackout, which was supposed to be the successor, but it was, they made some design changes that made it play totally different, that a lot of competitive people frowned upon. Then in Halo Reach, we had Uncaged, which was like Lockout's, weird
sister
created in a lab brother, or something like that. So I'm hoping we'll get like just a really breath of fresh air with the maps, and I hope they all play great, and I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I've actually heard a couple of people compare Haven to Guardian.
I haven't heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you think about it for a little bit, it kind of feels like it.
Like
you have the top middle ring, you have kind of the outside curve, kind of where that forest is, and then the back elbow, and you have the lift on either side.
Yeah, it's almost like
it kind of feels like
Guardian is like the map where nature took over the Halo 4 map, right? And like
almost,
there's trees growing now and sort of the things like that, and that's what made it asymmetrical, is like the tree knocked down part of the symmetrical part and that sort of thing. So I could see that. That's pretty cool. I wonder if that's at all some of the inspiration for it. That'd be a good question to ask one of the 343 guys.
I have to do that at New York Comic Con if
be like, hey, give it to me straight.
Yeah, exactly right.
Is this Guardian with before the trees happened or something like that? However you want to say it.
Are there birds?
Pterodactyls. Those things are crazy.
What were those things? Yeah.
I don't know. Some
I always
Halo beast.
I liked it when everyone would test hosts and shoot those things or whatever it was.
Yeah.
One
Pretty
time.
cool.
Sweet. So being able to not drop the flag and doing the auto pickup, I want to see MLG try it at least first and see how people kind of react to it, because I think promoting that kind of teamwork is actually something that might be a good change. So what do you guys think about that from an MLG standpoint?
I think people just got to tune in and see how it plays. A lot of people have seen it from a third person perspective, or they've only heard about it and they haven't even checked out the gameplay yet. So I think with the MLG event coming up, people should tune into that, because that's where you're going to get it, the full exposure over the course of 3 days. There's going to be nothing but people playing these game types. So if you have any doubts before the game's release and you want to, watch it, that would be the time to do it. Because I know some of us will be there, and a lot of people from the community, various sources will be covering the event and that sort of thing. So that'd be the place to shake any doubt.
Yeah, and people have no excuses not to watch it. Number one, the event's free. It's going to be on all day. They have VOD, and you get to watch some of the top players from previous Halos go at it with new up-and-comers also, competing on a brand new game, and everyone's on a pretty much an even keel, except maybe like 4 or 5 players that played it a bunch. So it's gonna be interesting.
And if I was like someone who was hesitant to jump into matchmaking or something like that, or was looking for tips or how to play, this is like the pinnacle of what you want to watch before the game comes out. So everyone's going to run through, campaign in the first week and get that out of their system. And then technically you tend to jump into multiplayer. Well, there's those people who skip campaign. The hardcore guys don't, tend to just, straight into matchmaking. And then they have this advantage. Well, to all the casual or people who are new to the game or whatever, if you even have a little bit of interest in multiplayer, you're going to want to watch this event, and you're going to find out things and learn things just by watching that you can then apply to your own game, and you're probably going to have more fun in matchmaking then, and you're going to understand the game better and get a better feel for the game and sense of how it plays, because these are like the top-notch people who've literally dedicated their lives to playing Halo. And whether you think it's a sport or not, or whether you think it's legit or not, throw your opinion out the window. If you want to watch Halo and you like Halo, check it out. You might like it. You might get a new sense, and you might get a better understanding of not only how to play the game, but the passion and dedication that goes into these people playing the game. Yeah. So I think it'll be a fun event for everyone, basically.
This could be interesting for... Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. I was going to say, and people shouldn't treat it like it's an MLG event. It's a Halo event. This is 343 and MLG coming together to show off their brand new games and best of both worlds. Right. So don't go in there thinking it's going to be a watered down game of BRs only, because you're going to miss out on a great opportunity to watch it. This is really a Halo event, and I hope that weekend that everyone, even if you don't like competitive Halo, checks it out and supports it, because Halo's Halo, and support it. I hate you.
Yeah. Well, no, you bring up a good point too with the settings. MLG is not gonna be MLG settings. It's not it's like a 343 tournament at this MLG event, right? On MLG stream, because there's no settings for it yet. The game, while this event's going on, the game's not even out yet, so you have no excuse. You should tune in. You can't even play yet. So but people will get to see everything, because this is gonna be new to all the players there. So, and also, we've talked about this a little bit, I think, just within our own Skype chat, but on our website, Halo Council, we're going to be doing like basically the MLG stream, like an event survival guide. So how to tune into the stream, where to tune into the stream. Nice. I'll say it right now too, if anyone's watching, it's going to be majorleaguegaming.com/live. There you can watch all the streams as well. So you can see StarCraft 2, League of Legends, and the fighting games, Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur, if you're interested in those as well, in addition to Halo. And then we're going to be talking about, okay, say you're attending the event, what to bring, like what's allowed. There's no wireless controllers, wired controllers, that sort of thing. And then the rules. Basically, check us out if you have any questions, because we're going to we want to bring everyone in. Anyone new who has questions, anyone who wants to, check it out for a little bit and might be hesitant or confused as to how to do it. We want to make it as easy and as painless as possible. So.
Oh, we forgot to mention too. There's prizes. I mean, 40,000 Halos, 20,000 for first. That's 5,000 a person. So you never know. Like, just because the pros are good at another game doesn't mean it's going to carry over. So even if you don't like to compete, go have fun with friends, chill, whatever.
And you get to play the game before it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to me. Hang out with friends all weekend at a Halo event, scream my lungs out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that stream crashed because of how many people are watching.
It's gonna.
We have satellite trucks because it did once.
Yeah.
MLG Dallas, what was it, last year or 2 years ago or something?
It was
the stream
last
actually
year
did go
because
down.
I was there.
Oh, yeah, and everyone freaks out. So now we have satellite trucks that literally beam the stream up into space so that it doesn't happen. So
I was keeping track of the stats on MLG site when it first came out after E3, and they got 100,000 views in like under 6 hours. I can't imagine the damage that a full live event will do with everyone knowing. So it's going to be a fun event. I can't wait to watch or see in person.
For anyone like tuning in or curious as well that might be considering going, but then you're saying, oh, I don't want to play against a pro team, or I don't want to, get knocked out first round. I've got some explaining to do. So Friday is just practice for everyone. Friday's open if you're a team that's signed up to compete. you're just going to have a time that you can go and play and practice. So Friday is all practice, so you can get acclimated to the game, find out what loadouts you like, what weapons you like, and what the maps are like. Then it's also double elimination is the style of tournament. So say you lose your first match, well, then you're put into loser's bracket. And then if you lose your second match, then you're out. So you're guaranteed, X amount of games. You're not going to feel like you were cheated, even if you're hesitant on entering. And then finally, like there's no pro team seeds. So everyone's just, there's a really not a high chance that you're going to be playing a pro team the first round. So you're going to be on an even footing. And the pros haven't played Halo 4 that much. No one's played it. This is before the game's even out. So if you're hesitant,
the final build, so.
yeah, go to that, and that's going to be sick. So if you're hesitant, I would say go, because an MLG is an experience literally unlike any other, and I'm sure everyone in here who's been to one can vouch for that. It's literally unreal.
If you live in and around Dallas, or you can make it to Dallas really cheap, then it's definitely worth going. And I've gone to every MLG Dallas event since Dallas 09. Believe it or not. I've gone to every Dallas event since then.
And it's awesome. MLGs
it's a
are
lot
sick.
of fun.
And it's not like matchmaking. It's not people yelling at you. It's like one of the most friendly environments you could possibly dream.
Trust me, there's some shit talk, but everyone shakes hands afterwards. And
it's
a good time.
And if you can't make it, check out the stream. That's the
tweet the stream.
Exactly. I just remember back in 09 when they had, like, Halo was the main stage. And just have that environment of people just cheering all the teams on. It's just incredible. I wish they still kind of did that. But it's
you haven't. Sorry, not to cut in. Did you watch Columbus by chance? Here, let me post this.
Shoot, I think I did.
I don't know if this was showing on stream, but it was pretty insane there. I can't imagine what Halo 4 is going to do to a crowd that was feeding off of Halo Reach at the time.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I remember seeing that now. Yeah. Yeah, because I think, they were talking about, or one of the other streamers was talking about, like, how loud the Halo 4 guys were, or the Halo Reach guys were.
Team Liquid, they were commenting about that.
Yeah.
That was great. We'll try and bring it down.
I'm betting that with how much push there is, with Halo 4 coming out 2 days after MLG, that the stream for Halo 4 is just going to explode.
Yeah.
It'll be beneficial for the game. It'll be beneficial for probably MLG. Maybe they'll get their heads screwed right back on and get Halo back in the circuit.
Yeah, that's true too. If the stream numbers are up there and the crowd is pumped,
which it will be. It will be.
Yeah, it's going to turn heads.
I mean, because everyone's going to be wanting to get as much Halo info before the game comes out.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about spoilers or anything, because there's not going to be any campaign or Spartan Ops gameplay. It's all multiplayer.
Yep. Yeah.
So, and then another nice thing is 343 came out and said that in certain situations you're going to have all of the armor mods, weapons, and everything unlocked in a certain situation. So I think this is one of those kind of custom games features where you won't necessarily have it in matchmaking, but you can have it all unlocked in custom games.
Yeah, on LAN, everything is available from the start, including like I believe like the armor, like even armor and everything. So you got everything at your disposal, everything you could dream of. So you're gonna see everything before maybe even you get the chance to unlock it. So this can be great if, say, you don't know what you want to try to unlock first. It can give you a good sense of that, which you want to gun for if you want to unlock, which certain specialization first.
And the nice thing about that is you get opinions of people who have routinely played Halo and know what to look for. So you kind of get, in a way, professional guidance on how certain things act in Halo 4.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's just a great opportunity in general to really, and if you can't attend it, definitely watch the stream. It's free to stream it. So just hop on any one of those days, and I'm sure Sunday is probably going to be a big one. I'm assuming that's when the championships are.
Yeah.
Sunday's usually the big numbers day, but it's going to be on all weekend. So
Championship Sunday.
Whenever you're free.
Big all weekend. Yep. It's going to be big all weekend. Halo 4, goddammit.
Exactly. So Alrighty. We have hit 2 hours, believe it or not.
Nice. We
Yes.
made it. We did it.
We made 2. Wow.
All right,
That's Halo 4, man. That's all the stuff that's available.
I know,
all right,
right?
let's start listing our sponsors. All right. Just kidding. Yeah.
Here at Podtacular, we don't have any sponsors other than our fans.
We don't have any either, so don't. So
We do it for Halo, baby.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We do it for Halo.
We do it for Halo
For
and
the
for
love
those
of the
who are willing to
games.
donate.
This is for you, Chief.
Yeah.
Exactly. Continuing the fight.
Yeah.
So, all right. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time to come out and spend your 2 hours that I'm sure you would have been doing other wonderful things with.
Like watching Halo videos on YouTube.
Exactly.
Probably.
Because there's probably been, like 10 of them uploaded in the past 2 hours or so?
Oh, I'm sure there's a million breakdown videos
Yeah.
and impressions videos going on right now. But
Exactly.
they're all good to watch, man. That's the thing.
Yep. It's great content that's coming out of. I mean, we're still getting a little trickle down from PAX. I know from Podtacular we have a few more. You guys will probably see stuff coming out.
I don't miss. Yeah.
100% accuracy out of Brett.
Yeah.
All right. Was there any other topics you guys wanted to hit before we wrap this up?
I
know I kinda
talk about religion or maybe the political debates. No.
No.
Well, when the game
Don't.
comes out, if you're of age, be sure to vote. That's important.
Yeah,
we can bring
definitely
awareness to
vote.
that. So, yeah, vote, and then play Halo.
Vote or Halo 4 dies, or however it has to go.
Yeah. No, I think that about wraps it up for me. I don't have anything else towards multiplayer. I already revealed all my secrets. Everything I could have hoped to surprise people with has now been talked about. So you guys can then dong on me in matchmaking instead of me having the tricks up my sleeve. So
Or maybe you'll just be the better man.
May the
knows?
best man win.
Maybe you're giving us your secret ingredients so we don't feel as embarrassed when you decide to beat us.
Maybe, probably not, but maybe.
It's like it's like you've. Yeah, I can't think of the saying. It was like a Chuck Norris. I'm trying to think of a Chuck Norris joke, but it's not coming to me.
Is it about 1,000 Years of Darkness?
No.
Oh, okay. Love that video.
But so this has been great. I appreciate you guys coming on. Definitely check these guys out. They're all part of the Halo Council, which is at halocouncil.com. They have YouTube, Twitter. You guys want to plug everything that you have real quick?
Sure, we can go into it. I'll start off. halocouncil.com. It's the website. Thanks for having us. This has been a blast. I love talking about Halo 4 stuff, so this has been great as always. But I'm Euphorix. That's letters U4IX. It's weird. People always say it wrong. It's fine. And on Twitter, I'm at U4IXXX. So that's how you spell it, Euphorix, with 3 X's. Then our YouTube is youtube.com/the Halo Council, where you can check all that out. And then be on the lookout for our website. We'll have that MLG stream survival guide if you guys want to check that out, and learn how to watch the stream so you're not questioning anything. And if you're a competitor or looking to compete, we'll have a guide for you as well. Then post Halo 4 launch, we're going to have guides on the maps, weapons, armor abilities, Spartan Ops campaign. If you can dream it, we'll probably have a video about it. And then we'll also have, with the release of our 2.0 website, user submitted and user voted content. So if you want to get in the game and start, giving out your tips and tricks, we're going to try to enable you to do that as well. So I'll throw it to these other guys and they can hit you with their contact info.
Yeah, thanks for having us on. I know we've talked in the past, but it's finally nice to get on the show. Hope to get to meet you in Dallas. That should be a fun event. I know you and Frank will finally get to meet, hopefully.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Looking forward to it.
Sure. Yeah, I know this is probably going to come out after, but we got our $500 montage contest.
That's
so
right.
Make sure to vote on that, because voting starts next week. So vote or die again on that. And what else? That's about it. My Twitter feed is CyRen, CYREN _. So follow me for Halo news and football rants.
Goodies.
All that good stuff.
Nice. Very nice.
So,
LastMan?
are you not done, Ray? Or?
Oh yeah, I could keep going if you'd like. No, I'm done. I'm messing with you, dude.
All right. So my Twitter feed is at BD EYEDB. No, it's confusing, but if you sound it out, you should be all right. And also for anyone out there that plans on going to Dallas, if you have a team, you can sign up on our Halo Council forum, and we have a thread there for all the teams that are attending. So if you want to get your name out there, maybe meet some people to connect with at the event, go ahead and post in there, and we'll get you up on that list.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to tweet us, because we retweet a lot of community events, montages, all that stuff. So if you got something you want to send to us, we'll promote it on our website or even on Twitter, retweet it. So just make sure to hit us up, because we're about helping others and not our pockets.
I mean, you guys have basically become the competitive HBO, in a sense.
Yes.
It's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
I'm a little shorter than Woo, but I'm getting there. Yeah.
Woo and I are the same height, believe it or not.
Yeah, we gave Woo one of the Halo Council t-shirts, and he's like, all right, I need 3XL. I'm like, for what, a tent? No, but he's a really cool guy. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. That big. I know. That was a joke. But, yeah. But yeah, he's a cool guy. I like Woo. And Grim, too. Grim's awesome.
Have you actually got to meet them?
I've never met anyone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You gotta get some events, man. Yeah.
I know, I gotta start making that.
Get out there. Hopefully we'll meet a bunch of people in Dallas, and then I'm gonna see what I can do about New York Comic Con. I'd love to go, but so far I'm still on the fence about committing or not.
Yeah, I want to see if it's playable there and what build, because I was gonna go to that Toronto event, but they were just having the E3 build, so I was kind of hesitant to go to that. But
I'm definitely happy they had a PAX build.
Yeah, you know what? I know we're kind of getting off topic. Before ODST came out, they had that bus drive around. I was kind of hoping to do that with Halo 4 again.
They might. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a feeling they're going to definitely put a lot into promoting Halo 4 when the time comes. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Don't know quite yet whether or not, but we'll see.
We'll stay tuned for sure.
Exactly. Stay tuned to Podtacular and Halo Council. We will let you know. Exactly.
Sounds good.
All right. So I want to say thank you to our guests again. We have CyRen, Euphorix, and LastMan from the Halo Council. Make sure you check them out at halocouncil.com. Make sure you check us out at podtacular.com. While you're there, you can check out our forums where we talk about Halo 4, all the nice Halo news that's been coming out over the past 3 months, and they're going to continue to come out for the next 2 months. We have Monday night matchmakings that we do, so if you're on Reach at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, make sure you hit us up and come play some matchmaking with us. And we usually head into customs about 10 o'clock or so, so if you want to kind of get with people and kind of build some of the hype towards getting back into Halo if you haven't been playing for a while, that's one good way to really come out and get back into the game. If you have any questions or comments on any of the Halo 4 news that we've talked about in this show or any of our other shows, make sure you drop us a line at submissions@podtacular.com, or you can go to our homepage and use the big green submit button at the top of the page. We are still working on getting a new voicemail lined up for you guys, so hopefully the next show I will have a new number that you guys can call in since our old one expired. But until then, you can also send us MP3 files that you record with Audacity or whatever your favorite recording program is. Try to keep them 1.5 minutes long at the 2 minutes at the max, and we'll make sure to put those in the show as well. So thank you guys for listening. This has been episode 311 of Podtacular, and we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.